So, let's say you are a dungeon master and you already own a copy of the Creature Codex by Kobold Press. Or you already own a copy of the Tome of Beasts. Or maybe you already own a copy of the Game Master's Toolbox and the Monsters of the Guild, Gods and Goddesses, there is Masters and Minions, great book, there is Tyrants and Hellions, you already own copies of the Book of the Tarrasque, which is also a monster book, you already own a copy of you already own 2 copies of the Monsters Manual for some reason. You own a copy of Photos Guides to Monsters, Mordecai's Tome of Foes, Legendary Dragons, and even, yes, I'm counting this one, Ulrong's Guide to the Plains Acheron, because about half of this book is actually a bestiary. Well, if you already own all of those, you're probably thinking, hey, I need more monsters. And that's exactly why this one person called Manix has released these 2 beasts on the Dungeons and Dragons world. Hi there and welcome back to the channel. I am Mr. Tarrasque, still your favorite YouTuber who covers third-party material for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. That's the main thing that I do. I review third-party content because I think there is a lot of awesome stuff out there. And I just want to say before we dig deeper in these monsters manuals that I am still giving away a Remarkable Inns copy and a Remarkable Shops copy by Loresmith. No, by the way, I'm giving away 6 of these and 6 of these to my subscribers. Every time I hit 100 more subscribers, so 4,100, 4,200, 4,300, I will give away one of these books until I reach the end of how many books that I have. And I have a few of these softcover booklets and I have a few of these in hardcover version. So I have something for everybody. I also have like decks of cards and everything. All you need to do is click the video that I'm linking here somewhere, respond to that video with a comment, and you're in the competition. That's all you need to do. This video has been brought to you in part by the Reroll app, a handy little app that you can download on your phone, your tablet, your desktop PC or wherever, and you can have your character stuff, all your ability scores, your weapons, your armor, your pets, your combat stuff like attacks and spells on your phone together with some very cool pixel art. You can actually create your own character out of thousands, maybe even millions of combinations of colors and armor and pets and everything to have your own very unique pixel art character together with all the stuff you need to play Dungeons and Dragons. And you can get 10% off of that little app by using my promo code TRSQ in big fat bold letters, TRSQ. When you download it, 10% discount, and you support me in the process. Most of the time when I review a book, all these books I review have all kinds of different kinds of content in them, and I can like really review all the contents and tell you guys what's in there and what's not in there and how I like it. These things, well, they're just monsters. There's a gazillion monsters in here, but that's basically all they do. They're one-trick ponies filled with monsters, which, by the way, is very awesome and very cool. But I have a really hard way for reviewing this type of content because there's only monsters in here, and if I want to playtest these things, I need like 10 years to playtest them, and then maybe Dungeons and Dragons or like the world doesn't even exist anymore following the current state of events on planet Earth. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do things completely different, completely off the cuff. I'm just going to open these guys. I'm just going to place my camera in a very bad angle and in a very bad way so we can open these guys, and we're just going to flip through them, and I'm going to tell you what I think of them and just look at some of the monsters that are inside, and maybe you can decide for yourself if you want to add them to your collection. But before we do that, very quickly, if you like my content and if you like what I do, pointing you towards stuff, third-party Dungeons and Dragons stuff you should buy or you should spend your money on if you're looking for new stuff, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to comment below what you think about these books and what other books you want me to take a look at on my channel, because I really love doing this, and I really like that my channel keeps growing and my community is so positive. We're just a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons enthusiasts on this channel, and it's completely amazing that you guys keep supporting me. Hit the subscription button below, hit that little bell button, really helps me out, and let's get to it. Monster Manual Expanded, number 1. Big ass books by Manix Dragonix Manasala. That's what they call him. He's actually called Andrew Mannix. Right, it says right here. And well, first things first, the cover. I do not like this cover. I do not dislike this cover. The only reason I do not really like it is because it's way too dark for a physical copy. Maybe it comes out better on PC, and I haven't checked these things on PC on a PDF or like a Macintosh screen, which are very, very bright. This just doesn't pop out that much. Just my opinion. I mean, there's like this head, and then there's these tentacles of this beholder, which is cool, but you almost don't really see it. And I know they tried to do that on purpose, but it just doesn't really do it for me. Anyway, Monster Manual Expanded, let's open it up. White pages. Then there is some praise for Monster Manual Expanded, like some... there's actually some small reviews by some people I know. For example, Bob Worldbuilder. He's a very good guy, very good YouTuber who talks about the variants. And there's, well, he actually likes it. Of course he does. This quote wouldn't be in here if he didn't like it. Then we got more quotes of, let's see if there's people in here that I know, not per se. No, anyway, so there's some quotes in here, which is cool, which is actually a cool addition. It's like when you watch a trailer of a movie and there's like these quotes, or like a video game and there's like these quotes popping up on the screen. I always like that. So yeah, Monster Manual Expanded. Here's the picture again of the beholder. Better. But still just not, I don't know why it doesn't really get to me, but that's personal preference. Then there is information about the art, everything. And then there's chapter 1, the Bestiary. And as you can see, right here, a lot of monsters. And right there, a lot of more monsters. And I have to say, that's actually all these books are. This one actually has, let's see, 475. Over 475, which is a very specific number to say over. I mean, over 475, that could be like 476. Anyway, I know I'm just doing this off the cuff, and it's really weird because this camera is in between my legs, so I have to work around that. Anyway, the Bestiary. There we got it. We got the Bestiary. And they start off with Aarakocras. And they go all the way through, like, a lot of the monsters we already know. Mind Flayer White. Wow, there's like a lot of creatures in here. There's some monstrous water weirds. That's kind of the artwork on this one is very cool, because it's like, it has like this cell shaded kind of vibe going on. This cartoony cell shaded kind of vibe going on. And that's my main issue with this book is, no, I actually have two issues with this book. The first issue I have with this book is that the artwork is not very consistent. And I know I'm kind of an asshole for saying that, because I know the creator has created like, they created like a gazillion monsters, like 476 to be exact, monsters with stat blocks, and they used a lot of stock art. They bought probably a lot of stock art, and well, you have a lot of, because there's not like one artist who can draw everything in this book in one lifetime. So he probably had a lot of different artists working on different artwork, and took some stock art here and bought some art there and everything. And although 80 or 90% of the art I really like, there's some art in here I'm not really into. But that's personal preference. The issue I have with it is that it's not consistent. I don't like artwork that isn't really consistent. I like all kinds of different kinds of artwork, but I want artwork over one book to be consistent. I know that might sound a little weird and a little nitpicky, but that's just the way I want things when I have a book. Then again, these books are very cheap when you compare them to like official 5th editions Dungeons and Dragons books. You can, by the way, buy them on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You can buy them in PDF form, a physical copy. I don't know if there's like softcover copies. You can buy them in all kinds of forms, and they're awesome. That's my main issue with these books, is that the artwork is not very consistent. And then there is another issue, and I don't know if you really see it on the screen, but I can see it when I'm holding it, and that's the most important part. Some of the artwork is kind of pixelated. And I already talked about that in my other video, where I talked about my top 3 Dungeons and Masters Guild stuff to download right now, to buy right now. I actually talked about that is pixelated, and then the creator contacted me and he said, well, there's this reason, and there's this reason, and there's this reason, there's this reason. And I know there's a lot of good reasons for it to be pixelated, because there's a lot of different kinds of artwork and different sizes to use in these books, and you have to fit them in, and you have to do all kinds of magic stuff to get a book together, which I wouldn't be able to. So mass respect right there. But I look at these things from a consumer point. And it might sound a little harsh, but when you buy for example, you buy a Ferrari, right? And it should have 450 horsepower, and you are driving it and you are testing it, and it only has 400 horsepower. And then the guy from Ferrari comes at you and he's like, yeah, the reason for that is because, well, we didn't really have the opportunity to put that screw on the right place and to put that bolt on the right place, so we had to drop like 50 horsepower. I hope you don't mind. You would mind, right? So I'm not saying these books are bad, because if they were, I wouldn't be reviewing them. These books are freaking completely ridiculously awesome, and there's a lot of content in here. If you can look past some of the artwork being pixelated and some of the artwork being not consistent, then these books are awesome. Again, the pixelated stuff is only for a few of the artwork, for some of the artwork, because some of the artwork, like this one, is really smooth, is really nice, the colors pop out perfectly. I mean, it's just here and there that one of these artwork things is a little pixelated and not consistent. So yeah, what can I say? Monsters, 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 and all of them have artwork. If you are a dungeon master and you really need some new artwork, new monsters in your game, you have lots of them, and I'm just flipping through them so you can see some of them. This one is a very, very nice artwork. I mean, this is really cool artwork right there. If I can like focus my lens on it. I have to tap my lens or something. Hello, focus, stupid lens. Like right here. There you go. There you go. Isn't that nice? Nice artwork. There's Durgar in here. There's Dryad in here. I mean, everything you need is in here. And actually, if you are a dungeon master and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons and you only have a monster manual and you have to buy 1 or 2 new monster books, and you really want some years and years and years of fun with those monster books, well, you just buy these. They're affordable. They're good, and you can use them, and they're a perfect addition to the monster manual if you already have that. There's big spiders in here, there's worms in here, and if you might know that I like worm-like creatures. I like to use them in my games. They are challenge 6 and challenge 4. I'm going to use a couple of these ones in my game. I already decided that. So yeah, this might be the most boring review you've ever seen, but it's the only way we can do that. Then, let's flip to the monster manual expanded number 2. And they fixed one major thing, and you can already see what they fixed, to my opinion. The cover. I mean, look at this. Cover number 1, cover number 2. I mean, this is just 1,000 times better. There's actual colors that pop out, and there's actual, I mean, there's contrast and what you call it, and just better artwork overall, which I like a lot. So again, this guy was like, yeah, I've created a monster book with like 476 monsters or something, but that's not enough. Let's create another one. So he created a freaking another one. So again, he did praise for Monster Manual Expanded number 2. Oh, there's Bob World Builder again. There's PB Publishing. I know who he is. There's Nerd Immersion. I know who he is. There's some other people in there. And then again, the Bestiary. And one thing they fixed is, of course, the cover. And another thing they fixed is the chapter 1 thingy. Because it's not chapter 1 if there's only one chapter. Right? So again, a bestiary with a lot of monsters, and I actually have a harder time finding pixelated artwork in this one than the previous one. So I think they on purpose actually fixed that, and I like that. Isn't this? Wait, isn't this 4th edition? Where have I seen this? I've seen this somewhere. I forgot. I think that's 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, if I wanted to test these books and tell you if the challenge ratings and the power ratings of the creatures were correct, I'd have to spend like 5 years of using creatures of this book before I can actually tell you guys. So I'm already using creatures out of this, but you know, I've never seen an issue like, for example, the issue I have with the Tome of Beast from Kobold Press is that some of the monsters challenge ratings are way too low. So I actually I complained about that because there was like a challenge rating 5 creature and my party was like level 8 and they had a very hard time defeating it. Look at the shark. How awesome is this shark? Cool. So cool. So yeah, there's that. And then at the end of the books, there's always like this, more like these non-player characters, more like these humanoid type of deals you can use as NPC stats or you know, like assassins and stuff like that. Yeah, and then there's some commercial pages and everything. There you go. That's actually the... Oh wait. New spells. I haven't seen this. Wow, I completely looked over this one. New spells. Unholy Aura, Unholy Weapon, and Wall of Iron. So there's 3 new spells in this one. Awesome. Death Priest of Orcus. How cool is this one? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm tapping my camera right now for it to... Oh man, that's so cool. That's freaking cool. Yeah. So, yeah. If you want like over 700 or 800 new creatures to add to your games, these books are it. They are on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You can have them in PDF. Just bring your iPad to a game or whatever, and you can buy them. You can use all of these monsters. There's also, the reason they're called Monster Manual Expanded is actually because there's a lot of monsters from the Monster Manual in here, but there are other versions of that. For example, there's a Tarask. In the Monster Manual, in the 5th edition Monster Manual, there's a Tarask, and the Tarask is just not powerful enough in 5th edition. The official Tarask is not powerful enough. So they've kind of fixed that in these books. There's a new Tarask in here you can use, which is very, 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 very powerful, at least on paper. So yeah, there's like a new versions of orcs, there's new versions of kobolds, there's new versions of angels, devils, demons, whatever you can picture from the monster manuals. There is new versions of that right here for, I don't know exactly what they cost, but they don't cost that much. The price is never on the back on these things. So yeah, that was my flip through. This was absolutely not a review, because reviewing this is very hard, of the Monster Manual Expanded number 1 and number 2. They're great books, they have some downsides, but they're just awesome and amazing. So that was my review, or maybe more of a flip through of the Monster Manual Expanded number 1 and number 2. And I have to say, I really like him. I had some pointers that I disliked a little bit, but I really like him overall. They're great value for money, especially when you buy them on PDF. I mean, you get a ton of new monsters to add to your game, and you get a ton of variety of the already existing monsters in the Monster Manual. You can use different versions of those, and you have something for everybody, something for every dungeon master. That's really great, and I really love them. You should really check them out. Link is of course in the description below. Do you have these books? Are you going to buy them? And do you want to tell me what you think of them? Or do you have any questions about them? Make sure to put that in the comments below. And until the next time, I hope your inspiration may guide you.